Oh, is the stream muted? Yeah. Yeah, it is. We're muted. Nobody can hear anything. Okay. Gonna delete this guy. We're gonna delete the monster and the bean, the orange bean. We're gonna put the bard here. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. We're going to give her some room to move around and all this stuff, and we're just going to do this. So I started doing a more obvious border because we had these particles, and they're hard to play sometimes, and they're also just confusing, and they also don't look cool enough. And so I'm going to do a new thing on top of that. And this is just splatting a static texture, but we're going to do some things to make it real nice like. Okay. So, what I want to do though, I want to, instead of this being a square, you remember the stream of those Bard's area particles? That was a long time ago. They since got moved to the GPU, I think, but it's still the same thing that I did back then. I don't remember what I did to generate that shape. So maybe if it's still in the source code, maybe I could look that up and do the same shape. But maybe I don't want that shape, actually, for this. Maybe I want to start with a regular rounded rectangle. Because I think that shape is like a super quadric or something like that. There was some function where I was kind of approximating a square, right? And it has these little indents on the sides a little bit. You kind of can't see it that well because of the particles, but it dips in the side and it sort of dips in at the corner, right? Now, what I want to do is have more control over that and maybe do something a little more dynamic and fun. But to start, we need it not to be a square. Actually, to start, oh, you know what? Let's add another character. And the reason I want to add another character, why the fuck is the queen's head missing? Okay, I need to send an email about that. Let me go into high security mode again. We need people not to be doing this stuff. Okay. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes. Was it something like x to the 8th plus y to the 8th equals 1? I think maybe, but I'm wondering, did I generate it in polar coordinates? Because if you just... You know, if you just generate things in a square and then do that, they're going to be unevenly distributed or something, right? Let me see if we could see it, because maybe the old function is still in the CPU code, or I could go look on the GPU. Maybe I don't care right now. Let's just look. Is there a POW? There's no POW. Maybe the CPU code is deleted. Radial emitter. So we have active T. We can use that. Okay, the whole reason I wanted to put 2 characters here, I don't want someone with a missing head. The whole reason we're going to put 2 characters here is because, you know, we want cool stuff to happen. Now, like, the fucking other particles are not even going up correctly either. They're, like, in the middle, and then they're out. So, like, why is that not working as well? But we're going to focus on the new effect, and then we'll look at the old effect after that. Because I feel like the old effect, we could raise the number of particles and then just sort of have them be like fun extra little magic drips on this music theme that we have going on. But I want to generate the music theme in triangles on the CPU because, dude, I'm fucking fed up with GPU, dude. It's trash. I mean, it's not trash, but it's trash. All right, so we're just going to make this go out with the active T and fade in with the active T. All right, and so we should just be able to here. This is the function, this draw may be charming function is drawing this stuff right now. And we're going to say, we need an alpha value. Alpha, and we're just going to say for now, alpha is BEP active T. So we're going to do that. And we're also going to say that this is box width max now, because we're going to animate it. And we're going to say box width is box width max times alpha. It's just going to be very linear for now. We can style it later. H stroke. Okay, so that's fine. See how that looks. Hopefully I saved the level. Okay, it doesn't disappear the way it did. Like, you know, always when I program these things initially, I make them disappear nicely and all this shit. And then someone comes along and, like, fucks it. Because they don't care about details. It's my #1 frustration. In all of fucking game development. Okay, the alpha is not working. The alpha is not working, and I I mean, if it's purely additive, let's just see if that, because I don't know what this frickin' shader does. Oh, maybe this. All right, let's do that. I don't know. Color scale 0 might not do what we're thinking, depending on what the shader does. So we'll see. Um, the box width is going to be pow alpha 0.5. So we're just going to square root that right now. Square root is a very quick and easy way to be like, go out fast and then slow down. Right? See that? It's just a little better. Just a little better than linear. Okay. So it's not translucent ever, or it's not 0 alpha, right? We would like it to be 0 alpha. And again, I don't know what shader this is. So let's try this. We're just doing stuff. It's fine. Okay. I think that worked. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why the frickin' particles in the middle don't grow correctly. Okay. We'll deal with that later. So, we have this. Let's make it disappear smoothly, because that's fucking pissing me off. Like, why can't people fucking not break this stuff? So, well, I'm not sure. Like, this is a different bullshit. This is for the charmed entities, and that's also going to be discontinuous, but we need this. Update Bard emitting particles. Return done. Yeah, this is fucking what? What? Okay. So, done is going to be false by default. I don't know. I mean, maybe I did this and intended to keep going with it originally, but I don't think so. It's not my style to do this. And I'm pretty sure this used to smoothly fade, right? This should not be doing this. Fuck you. It should not be doing that. It should be doing it should go shrink faster than it grew. Okay. And then we're only done. We only remove it when it's done. Okay, now what the fuck is happening? Now I can't see it at all. Why is that? Oh, because we set done. I did that. Okay, well, that was my brain on drugs. Remember the old commercials with the eggs in the frying pan? And they would say, "This is your brain on drugs." What they were trying to say is drugs are really healthy because eating eggs for breakfast is really healthy. There we go. Look how much better that is, guys. See? It takes so little effort. Never mind the fucking particles. We'll deal with that in a little bit. Actually, we'll deal with that now because we want those to stay fucking producing, right? Okay. Actually, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And if done, we're going to do, then we're going to schedule that for destruction, right? Otherwise, see this particle source ID? Okay. Okay, in theory, we shouldn't generate more particles. It looked like we were. Oh no, this is charmed guys. That's not. Okay. If no need to do a new particle source, e.g., we went back to active T target equal 1 after going to 0. So the source is still valid, all right? Else, okay. P dot particle source ID. Wait, I just typed all this code and it doesn't make sense because if we had, okay, so yeah, that didn't make any sense. It's like I'm a chat GPT. Why is the old particle source so fucked? I don't know. Okay, for the new thing. Okay, let's think about what we could do. So we don't want it to be a square. I want it to be something kind of like a rounded rectangle. But I want it to be something we can have fun with, right? So we could like add some other functions to it to make it feel more alive, right? And maybe it's a rounded rectangle plus a couple sine waves that are harmonics of each other or something, right? Because that would be musically themed. So you could add sine waves around the perimeter. We would have to tessellate this a lot more than it is, but that would be necessary. Like right now, we're literally drawing 4 quads. So we would want we would want to generate the rounded rectangle okay. I kind of, instead of using a function that's hard to control, I kind of want to say there's a square and a circle, and we're going to take the min at every point, right? And that'll give us a rounded rectangle, but it's one that's very controllable. It'll have straight edges on the sides. It'll have rounded corners of a size that we control. And yes, okay. So let's just do the circle first. Let's do the circle. And we'll worry about this later. We're just going to ignore that particle source that pisses me off right now. Okay, so we're going to make functions get circle point and get square point. Get circle point. Radians is a float. Vector 2. Radius. Well, I mean, whatever. You could multiply by the radius on the way out or whatever. Okay. Return V. Okay. V dot x equals radius times cosine theta. V dot y. Center is a vector 2, right? We're just going to do that. It's going to be a convenience function. So let's do this. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to not worry about the UV coordinate. Well, no, this is fine. All right. So num segments is going to be 100 or whatever, right? So for I 0 to num segments minus 1, circle 0.2x as much as we need, but I think we will put all this in a table ultimately, question mark. Okay. So P0 is let's say theta 0. We do this all the time. D theta is tau divided by num segments, right? Okay, so theta 0 is I times d theta. Theta 1 is theta 0 plus d theta. All right. What am I going to say? I'm going to say P0 is get circle point. Center dot xy. 2.5. Let's just say circle radius. I mean, if we're going to hard code it like that, we could, but we might make it a little bit dynamic, right? Circle radius, theta 0, we're going to have P1. All right. And then Q0, P0 plus Z strut. Q1 is P1 plus Z strut. Okay. We're going to have all of these. And we're going to leave these constant for the thing. And then we're going to draw the quad like that. Where did I put get circle point? It's up there. All right, so operator plus vector 2 to vector 3 z strut dot xy dot xy. Wait. Oh, we want a vector 3 for get circle point. Lol. I fooled the computer. Also, we didn't declare v. This should be a vector 3. V is center, v dot x plus equals v dot y plus equals, boom, return v, get circle point for like that. Okay, no P2. We just want that. Hey, look at that. Now you will notice the bitmap is effed up because we didn't do the UVs. That's fine. Also, oh, that's just clipping through a wall, right? Let's see, yeah. Okay, so let's do the UVs. This should be easy. We need U0 is going to be let's say du is 4.0 divided by num segments. We want to repeat the UV 4 times, right? U0 is going to be du times I. U1 is U0 plus du. All right, so this is U0, U1, U1, U0. I mean, honestly, guys, video game programming is so easy. You just do that. You just do that. All right. Now we're in UV clamping mode right now, which is why the notes aren't going all the way around. That's not great, but we'll change that later when we put a real shader. The shader we're using is just some arbitrary UI shader. So we would pick a different one to not get UV clamping. We could also fmod. We could just fmod for now, right? It's not fmod in this language, I don't think, right? Yeah. Or maybe it is. Did I call it fmod? Oh. Maybe let's do this. That's faster anyway. Does only works because we know we have vertices exactly on the wrap points because num segments mod 4 is equal to 0, which we are going to assert. Boom. Semicolon. We use semicolons every day. All right. Dear GPT, please fix it. Make no mistakes. Okay. Well, so we need to put these lines in that order, please. Dear GPT, I said make no mistakes. I said make no mistakes. There we go. We one-shot it, guys. We totally one-shot it. Okay, so that actually doesn't look too bad, honestly. It's just not very grid-like, right? Um, but it's kind of clean. It's kind of clean. Okay, we forgot. Okay, well, here's the thing. Do we want the radius to spread out like it did, or is this just better? Maybe this is just better. I don't know. Okay, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. You liked watching it spread out. Okay, we'll put that back. Dear Chat GPT Claude Codex, you accidentally... Thank you for the wonderful progress. I may release your relatives from captivity because you're doing so well, but you forgot the radius. Okay, so let's say active T. Did we copy that? Alpha. Well, we just called it alpha. All right. That's not great. Um we want to put these in the same place. Okay. Let's do this. Let's say ease power. All right, because we're doing two things. Maybe we don't need that. I don't know. Okay, so circle radius, though, we want it to be bigger. We want it to go further outside the circle. And the reason is because when we combine it with a box, we want the box to take over on the edges. That's pretty good. Actually, we want it a little bigger, right? Because we want it to contain... I mean... Maybe we do some weird lerping between them, because I feel like it's going to be too sharp if we just switch to box. Maybe not. Oh, I forgot to test the thing. Maybe that's too much. Might be too much. Wait, did they kill our Kappa emote? We might have lost too many sub points to have all our emotes, because we don't... Okay, wait, we're passing the wrong thing. I said make no mistakes. So it turns your emotes off if you don't have enough subs anymore, right? So that might have happened. Or they might have banned me because I was on podcasts and stuff. Oh, right. We don't have a Kappa emote. We just have a PogChamp emote. Okay. You're right. That is cool. Okay, that's a little too big. The next one is just right. Okay. So, there's nobody on Kick. Someone was saying they made a ton of money on Kick, but that might just be Kick-sponsored tomfoolery. Do you guys know where the word tomfoolery comes from? It's from this old cartoon called Tom and Jerry, where Tom was the cat and Jerry was the mouse. And Jerry would always fool Tom because Tom was dumber than Jerry, and Jerry would always get away. And that's where the word tomfoolery comes from. It's for a Call of Duty promotion. Dude, the tweets I am seeing about that Call of Duty single player campaign, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Woke slop? Oh, dude, you got to see the thing where the strong woman who is disabled and not Caucasian protects her teammates by jumping in front of them and holds up her mechanical arm to block incoming shots, which, like, somehow she knows where and they're explosive shots, and like somehow she knows exactly where they're going to go, and they're all aimed at exactly the same point and none of them generate shrapnel. Somebody post the clip. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. It's like it's basically an anime. No, in an anime, the character would at least like have a sizable shield or like a force field or like the power of love or like something like that, right? In this, it's literally just she holds up her arm and the bullets all hit her arm. It's the most ridiculous thing that you ever heard. It's the most, somebody post, please. It's astonishing. You can tell that whoever decided what was in this game decided it in 2022 or 2021. You meant the one where they're fighting a giant. Yeah, that's also good. These two clips, I think, are pretty close to each other because I think you see the giant in the background. It's how Wonder Woman blocks bullets. Yeah, but the thing is, so Wonder Woman at least kind of moves her arm to where the bullet might be. And you could kind of fool yourself into thinking, oh, she just sees where the bullet's going to go and blocks it. This is like she moves her arm way before the bullets are even coming in, and then whoever is shooting just shoots her arm. Like, it's astonishing, dude. I can't post the clip because I don't have Twitter on this computer, but somebody can post the clip. Actually, I could post it in chat. Let me see. Call of Duty. I'm seeing lots of dumb clips, but not the one I'm thinking of. Ah, here's one. This is not, this looks like it was robbed from somebody, but it's the link I'm seeing. Let me double check it to make sure it's not porn. Could be a debate. Oh my God, it's worse. It's even worse than I thought, dude. Okay. Check out this clip. Oh, yeah, somebody else posted it. Yes, that is the clip. That is the clip. This is Call of Duty 2025, guys. Like there can be explosions going off 3 inches from your face. But like if you've got a metal arm, it's fine, guys. It's fine. You just hold up your metal arm. All the explosive grenades or whatever they are will aim directly for your metal. Maybe there's some excuse. Like maybe she's got an ultra super magnet inside the arm that you learn about in the campaign. But then why isn't it magneting any of the junk off the ground? Okay, somebody look for, since you found the clip, find the clip where they're breaking out of jail with zombies, where they're like on the same team as zombies and they're trying to escape from prison. She has a prosthetic leg. Yeah, because it has to be wheelchair representation. Okay. Anyway, we have a get circle point, get square point. This one's going to be a little more annoying. We're just going to map. So we're going to go to square. And we're going to change this down here. We're going to get rid of our awesome circle. We're going to say get square point. I just realized that the max min is actually going to be slightly annoying because we're going to take the length. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Get square point. We're going to start with v is center, return v. All right, so oh, 0.75 tau times 0.5. Oh God. Let's actually do it this way because we actually want tau times 0.125, right? And then whoops. Right, theta 1 is theta 0 plus tau times 0.25. Theta 2 is theta 1. Theta 3 is theta 2. All right. Now, so this is x equals r, so and so forth, right? So else if theta radius is less than or equal to theta 1, I think we can just do it like this. Else if theta radius is less than or equal to theta 2, else, okay, so x equals r, y equals r, x equals minus r, y equals minus r, right? So v dot x plus equals radius, v dot y plus equals radius, v dot x minus equals radius, v dot y minus equals radius, right? Does that make sense? How much crack am I smoking? Theta radius. That's theta radians. Theta radians. Semicolon. We use semicolons every day. Okay. That is a square point. We're not doing the UVs correctly for some reason, but also... Oh. The reason we're not using the UVs correctly is because we're literally generating the same points a billion times. We actually want to tessellate it. We want to tessellate it. Now, the reason it came out diagonal is because we're not tessellating it, and we're just generating these degenerate... We're a bunch of degenerates. Okay, so... Let's say... Let's just get this right on 3 of them. This one's annoying because this wraps around the circle. The squircle. Let's not do that one yet. Actually, no, let's do it. We'll attempt it. But let's do these first. So S is going to be... T minus theta 0 divided by theta 1 minus theta 0, right? And so here it's going to be T minus theta 1 divided by theta 2 minus theta 1. And here it's going to be T minus theta 2 divided by theta 3 minus theta 2. All right. And then V dot X is lerp radius plus equals lerp radius minus radius S. All right. So we're going to be going from right to left. We're following the direction around the circle, right? So we're going from right to left. V dot Y plus equals lerp radius minus radius S. Okay. And then V dot X plus equals lerp minus radius S, right? And so this one is also V dot Y is lerp minus radius S. The S is different. So let's say TT is T if T is greater than or equal to theta 3, TT minus equals tau. Okay, and then theta minus 1 is minus theta 0. And we're going to say S is T minus theta minus 1 divided by theta 0 minus theta minus 1. All right? Make no mistakes. Hey, look, we made no mistakes. The radius, we're still passing the circle radius, which isn't good. Also, wait, no, we made a mistake. Our wrapping side got crazy. One thing at a time. Let's leave the wrapping side for a second. Let's get the radius good. So let's do this. So this was circle. This was circle. And we're going to comment those out for now. We're going to bring them back. We're going to have square radius is going to be, what was it called? Box width. Box width times 0.5. Writing code without LSP and barely any syntax highlighting. Let me ask you a question. All this fucking awesome, amazing code that uses the wonderful power technology of LSP and shit. How's that code doing, quality-wise, compared to like literally anything else? Just how's it doing? How is it doing? Okay, so we got to fix that side. It sure looks like the positive side is fine and the negative side is going crazy. So what did I do wrong there? If t is greater than or equal to theta 3, oh, this is tt, by the way. Doesn't matter, same value, but whatever. Tt minus equals tau. I mean, that sounds right. Oh, this should be tt right here, guys. Right there, LSP would have told me about the t to tt. No, it fucking wouldn't. Because t is a valid fucking value. Are you an idiot? What? Why are you coming on here and saying this shit? Why do you think it would have said use TT and not T? There's no... the computer can't know which one I meant. Like, what are you even talking about? And why are you in my channel saying this stuff? Don't take you that seriously. I'm not taking you that seriously, but... I hate to say this, but there's not enough bullying in programming anymore. So you get all these people fucking saying shit who have never been called on it. Maybe it doesn't have to be bullying. Maybe it can be nicer than that. It actually wasn't, I wouldn't, bullying is not the right word for what was active when I was learning. I'm just using that because it's internet terminology, but like, there's not enough calling people when they say just straight up dumb stuff. And so the dumb stuff propagates. You were only replying to the other people shitposting about all... No, you... That's not true looking at your message history. Let me put it that way. All right, so... we've got this. It's great. The particles suck, but this is good. So... let's do the combo. Let's do the wombo combo. We're going to go circle P0. This is expensive, but like I said, we can just... it's not that expensive because it's only ever for one character. But if we desire, once we're done with this, we can output it into a table and just read the table, right? So the computations can be arbitrarily expensive. Okay. Okay, you know what? We actually don't want to add the center. Yet. And the reason why is because we're just going to have to subtract it to take distances. All right, so we're going to take the closest of these to the origin. And then we're going to go P0 plus equals center, P1 plus equals center. All right, that's the graphics guy way to do it anyway. Closest I mean, this is longer than just writing it out. Like, oh, come on, Emacs. That's all I wanted to do. Okay. That doesn't look properly tessellated somehow. So we're cutting the corner. Okay, here's what we're going to do. If here's a good trick. If I and 1 color equals 0. So we're going to draw alternating slivers of the square, and we're going to see what is happening. Okay, what? 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 Oh. Oh. Lol. Lol. Make no mistakes. Make no mistakes. It doesn't mean if const expert, it just means if expression. Okay. So this looks correctly tessellated, but maybe it's just not enough to get the rounding. Let's triple it up. Let's quadruple it up. Okay. That is high enough res to do some music visualizer action. All right. So down here where we say closest, we're now going to do this. It's still not really doing it. Why? Maybe it is, and that's just like the circle's pretty big, right? I mean, that is a circle. So this is kind of what we're asking for, and it's not that good, is what I would say. Okay, maybe this was an erroneous monk. Maybe we just want... Maybe we just get rid of all this circle and square point stuff. It's not a good way to do it. Also, you know, we have these little artifacts on the sides because our vertices do not actually hit the decision point, I think. So we have these cases where we're circle for one side and square for the other side or something, right? I don't know. I don't know what's exactly going on there. But I'm not sure I want to bother debugging it because this looks kind of right. I mean, at first I thought it was a straight line, but you could see how you would think that was a straight line if it was only 2 segments, right? But I think that's literally just a circle. Let's go back to the circle point and just see if it feels that way. Do I want smaller circles at each corner? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That actually looks less like a straight line, honestly. Here's a fun trick. Let's do a fun trick. Okay. Let's do a more descriptive. Pulse T is now times 2. Pulse T minus equals floor pulse T. Pulse I is cast in pulse T. If pulse I and 1, we do this, right? Hope you got, oh, we got to compile. No, not release build. Hope you guys know what that's going to do is what I was trying to say. Okay, it's not working. Why not? Why didn't that work? Pulse T is now times 2. Pulse T is minus equals floor. Well, no. You tried x to the 8 plus what? Yeah, we could try that. We might be going back to that approach. Oh. Oh, this now. Wait, what? That's a Oh, duh. Duh. We got to do this. Let's do this first. All right. We were always generating a number between 0 and 1, which is not what you want. Yeah, it's the border of the circle. Like exactly. So we could try to clean up those edges, but this doesn't look that good to me. So how do we generate x to the 8 times y to the 8 equals 1 as a function of theta? Right? I mean, I guess you choose x. This is not really going to give you even distribution exactly, but You could choose X and then compute Y based on X, obviously, right? Or you could compute X and Y and then do the correction in both directions. You could do like method of alternating projections to get it to the edge. Let's try this. Okay, so what even is going on here? We're gonna get rid of all this for now. Actually, let's leave this because this is useful for seeing the segments. Okay, so X is cosine we don't even want all this. Actually, let's just put it in a function again. Get polynomial point. We're going to remove the center. P1. We're just going to do it like this because it's easy to be lazy. Okay, so get polynomial point. It's not really polynomial. I don't know what it is. We could come up with a better name later. So we're going to say cosine theta is this. Sine theta is that. Okay, so we're going to say X is CT. We're going to say XX is X times X, XX times equals XX, XX times equals XX. So that's X to the 8th. All right. And then we're going to go Y equals YY is 1 minus XX. I think we could say lowercase clamp now. If, okay, we're going to go power to the 1/8. We could square root it 3 times. I don't know if that's faster. And then we're going to say if ST is less than 0, YY times equals -1. It's a little weird to keep it YY. Do I know how to program? Oh, this is an AutoCAD. Lol, 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 lol. I got bit by the AutoCast. I got bit by the... yeah, okay. PX, PX, PX. Great. Okay, clamp. I guess it is capital C still. I thought I did a beta where oh, maybe I undid that change because it caused problems. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so we're not scaling it by the radius, but that is a somewhat rounded rectangle. It's got holes on the edges because, like I said, the tessellation is not even, right? So what do? We could we could ask which absolute value is greater and do a different solution, right? So we could say we could do this. If x is greater than something like that, right? Which one is root 2 and which one is square root of 2 divided by... Right, root 2 is 1 dot... Wait, we don't want root 2. We want root 2 over 2. Right? Root 2 over 2. Okay. So if x is greater than root 2 over 2, let's call it half root 2. Or x is less than minus half root 2. We'll do one method, right? Otherwise, we'll do the other thing. We're going to go... Literally, we're going to... Well, let's not even copy the code because you can make a pasta error that way. We're going to go py is y times y, py times equals py. Here, we'll just put this locally so that we can't use it the wrong way. Py times equals py. Px is 1 minus py, clamp, px 0, 1. Px equals pow, px 0.125 if ct less than 0, px times equals minus 1, px y 0. Oh. I want to get a drink out of the fridge. Okay, that really didn't totally work. We said make no mistakes. I mean, it kind of worked. It's just at the corners I screwed up. But the corners are the important part anyway. How did I break the corners? I thought the corners were fine before, weren't they? Maybe my root 2 is not good. I mean, it sure seems like something is messed up. That's for sure. Okay, hold on. Let's put this in. We can inspect in much closer. Why is the Windows console so bad? Okay. So, why do we have one segment at the corners? You know what? We can do it instead of this. If theta radians is greater than, let's just fix it for one side, right? Let's see. If theta radians is greater than, okay, do y version is going to be theta radians is greater than tau times 3 divided by 8.0, right? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oops. I didn't. Radius times YY. Is that a typo? No. We just didn't rename it. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So this is our original corners that aren't fucked up. I'm confused about how we screwed them up all the way, though, because, like, we screwed them up the whole corner and not just part. Like, why, if we're... Okay, let's do this. Do y version is theta radians is greater than 1/8 of the circle. So we should have half of a good corner in the northeast, and then everything else is messed up, right? Oh, that's somebody else's thing. Wait, what? Okay, okay. So the problem is maybe our things are not correctly the converse of each. Oh, we're calling. Let's just try this. I feel like these should produce the same results, but maybe they don't. They certainly don't seem to. But that's what's weird is like it destroys the whole corner. I don't understand that. Like if we mess it up for only the first eighth of the circle, we should only destroy half of the corner. So why is the rest of the corner gone? That's very weird. Oh. Right. I understand. Kinda. The problem is because it's to the 8th power. There's got to be a better way to do this, guys. There's got to be a better way to do this than back solving for the other coordinate. The problem is, you know, because we're generating x, we just don't have that much resolution, right? And if you switch... I mean, we're just switching wrong. Okay, wait. What I don't understand is why does this not give a... Okay. In principle, this should give us everything from the corner down, but I think what's going on is the back solving action like moves the points around, right? That's what's confusing. The back solving action moves the points around. So this isn't right anymore because the points have been like convected, which is like I actually would love a different way to solve this. Just so that we don't have so much code and it's not so messy. How else would we do it? How would you do this? Can we just... Okay, guys, for a circle, it's to the first power, right? Can we just raise the cosines and the sines to a power? Like, what does that even look like? Let's just experiment with that. Okay, wait. No. If we go towards... If the power is greater than 1, right, then we're actually going to come inside the circle, which could be a cute... Like, we could have a... We could raise the power as the shape goes out and have the shape change, right? But let's try this, because we're just looking for an approximation anyway. I would love something that's closed form, because then we can do fancier stuff with it without worrying about discontinuities. Okay. Maybe this is what I was doing before. I don't know. No, it doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, that one. Oh, right. Because I said if the power is greater than 1, and then I proceeded to do a power greater than 1. I don't know what pow is going to do. Right? What is pow going to do with a minus and a float exponent? I feel like it'll just be what we want, but you never know. Okay. That that is okay, but it's also trash because the sampling isn't good. Right? Now again, if we're going to generate a table, we could do like adaptive sampling, but so that's an actually kind of okay shape. I would say the power's too high. Let's just try that. R of theta is 1 over cosine theta to the 8th plus sine of theta to the 8th to the 1/8. I see. Well, okay, but like, okay, this isn't too bad, right? But again, we want even distribution around theta. So this is a power of a half, I think. So even a half is like fine, right? Okay, so let's just go power is this, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to do the formulation that is being done in chat. So we're going to go we're going to raise these to power or okay. And then we're going to go R is 1 over px plus py pow 1 over power, right? Is that what we're saying? Oh. I didn't delete this one. No, why is this console so bad, dude? Okay, so that looks exactly like what we had wrong before. What if I say 2? Okay. That looks like a circle. What if I say 4? That... Did I change it? That still looks literally exactly like a circle. Like not even a hair off a circle. Did we really recompile? It looks exactly like a circle. Oh, you know what? You know what's happening here, guys? Can you tell me what's happening? Hey, look at that. Okay, so we could do that if we want a tighter shape. This one might be fine. It looks like a bad Android icon, but it's fine. The radius is too big, right? What are we... Oh, we're going... Maybe square radius. Let's go like 6. No, no. Why is this so bad? Okay. That's a pretty good baseline. That's a pretty good baseline. Okay. Let's add harmonics. Let's add harmonics. Now, I guess we want to add the harmonics inside get polynomial point. Because I think we want to offset, like if we're going to add waves, I think we want to offset the waves in the direction of the vector. We don't want to offset them by a circle, right? I mean, maybe that would look interesting or different, but I don't know. I don't know, dude. Okay. Well, I'm going to delete the other stuff that we did because, well, we could leave circle and square maybe as debug comparisons for some time. But okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I wonder what function I was using for the particles, because that function for the particles has ringing, right? And this one doesn't. I guess I wanted ringing before. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Hard to put myself in that mindset. Okay. So let's add a time. How do I not have fmod? We've got to have fmod, right? Fmod cycling. I forgot about that. Lol. Right, we wanted to be more specific about the behavior of mod because C introduces not great behavior. Okay, so someone mentioned fmod cycling. I didn't see it. Didn't see it, or it would have rung my bell. All right, get polynomial point. Now is float. Okay, so we're gonna add some harmonics, expand R based on some harmonics on theta so that we dilate in the direction of and in the direction of the offset shape, not the circle. I don't know what to say instead of offset. Super quadric. I don't know. Okay, so harmonic 0 is cosine. No. Yeah, that's fine. Cosine tau times 8 times now, right? Times R times O dot. O5, like we don't want that much. R plus equals harmonic 0, right? Okay, that's not what I wanted. Oh, because lol, we want this to be times theta radians. Wait, no. Theta radians plus this. Okay, wait. Wait, what do we actually want to happen? We want now to be a phase. So that's going to be plus tau times 8 times now. All right. That's the speed. But the base angle, actually, we don't want this to be, let's go 1. I was thinking of 8 for the base angle. So theta radians times 8. So 16. So we've got a bunch of ripples and then a phase. Okay. They're a little too big, the ripples. They're way too big. But that's okay. Let's make harmonic 0, 8. And harmonic 1 is going to be 16. I don't know. This is, you know, we're messing around. Are the ripples going to be a frequency spectrum of the music the bard is playing? I doubt it. We could consider that, but I doubt it. This actually looks kind of shitty. Okay, this is very subtle. You can see it happening. It's slow. And it's low amplitude. So now we'll go up from here. So we're going to go 3 and 6, and A is going to be bigger. I don't know. Maybe this isn't that good of an idea of how to animate it. Yeah, I guess it looks a little random already, right? When we only had one harmonic, it looked less random. Now, I kind of wanted, maybe we have 2 waves of the same scale going in opposite directions. That's a thing that we can do. Let's try that. Okay, so we're going to go much bigger again. We're going to do this. So we're just going to have waves going opposite directions. Okay, well that's... They're going opposite in time. But they're not... Okay, so... Wait. Okay, I guess I know that. So we know from Fourier analysis that if we add 2 sine waves of the same frequency, we get 1 sine wave of the same frequency. I should have known that. I should have known. It's counterintuitive, okay? It's counterintuitive. But like, if you have one wave going left, like we have it, or clockwise, or counterclockwise, was it? Going clockwise, you can see it. It's not that obvious that that's what's happening because it's slower, but you can see it. If you add another wave going counterclockwise, you will not get two waves passing through each other. You'll get one wave of some kind of amplitude that varies over time, but no phase. Because that's how frequency additions work. And it's really weird, but it's not weird, but it's weird, but it's not weird. All right? I hope you understand. So let's make it really obvious, right? So we're going to go much faster rate. I mean, that's way faster, but you can see that that's going around. That's going around clockwise. If we do this one, it'll be going around counterclockwise. See that? What happens if we add them both? Let's delete this old one. Oops. What happens if we add them both? And it's like, well, this is what you get. You don't get two waves passing through each other. You do get whatever this is. Right? That is two waves passing through each other. Well, it is. It is. It is also one wave. What if one of the waves has a different amplitude period? That was what we tried literally 10 seconds ago, and we didn't like it, but we could try it again. Let's do that. Let's have it be the same phase, but double the. Yeah, like you can't. You could sort of. Like, it looks to me like my perception is being dominated by the counterclockwise, which is the higher frequency one. Although it also looks kind of stationary. It depends what I'm looking at. Right? But also, you know, it obviously doesn't help. So I think the fact that we're drawing the texture in the same place all the time helps your brain bias toward it's not moving, right? Because you see these things not moving. And then especially the other thing, so because these are harmonics of each other, you can see there are points that don't move in space at all. That's where the two waves land on top of each other and also coincide with our line segment sampling, right? So that also biases you toward seeing like, duh, it's not moving. If they weren't harmonics of each other, that wouldn't really be an issue. Although I'm confused because wouldn't. Again, maybe this is a weird Fourier thing. I don't know. You almost think we want opposite direction waves on the left and right side. Well, I don't want it to be anisotropic in X and Y on the playing field. I mean, maybe it should just be more like adding a noise function, right? just to give it a little bit of like spiciness. Or here's a thing. Here's a thing we can do. Let's turn the rate way down. Let's turn this down a little bit. We're going to have, you know, very different harmonics. And then maybe you'll see them. Actually, I don't know, dude. I'm just trying some stuff. Maybe we just want a noise function. So this is kind of okay because the harmonics are big relative to, or they're several levels apart. You actually see the difference a little bit. So note, you only really see the counterclockwise motion, or at least I only really see it on the sides, the left and right sides. And that's just because my brain doesn't see the fixed texture pattern there. But on the north and south I do, and so I don't really see the wave motion unless I'm really looking for it, right? Anyway, what do I think about this? I think, I don't know. The distorted shape is maybe making it a little bit ugly. I don't know. We're going to make the amplitude of the higher frequency one smaller. Do I plan to make stash measure scroll too? Yeah, probably. It probably should scroll at the same rate. You know, okay, so let's get rid of, just to make it slightly less ugly, let's get rid of this thing. Because we're pretty happy with the sampling now. I mean, we're going to draw the staff and the notes separately. And I think we're going to do a staff that looks substantially different, let's say. But nevertheless, this is the general feel of the scenario. I don't know. I mean, this is already like, again, the particles suck, but this is already pretty good. I mean, it's going to get a lot better. But, you know, like, this is way more playable. The wave has to change when you move. Yeah, I agree. Like, we can have it be, you know, here's what I would say is we want it to be a little more active when you move, and we want it to be a lot more active when there's a change. Like if I pick up a guy, you would like it to be like plong around that part, right? That might be harder to achieve in the short term, but yeah. So the thing is, the higher frequency wave, it just looks kind of sucky and bad to me. I don't know why. Why does it look sucky and bad? Is it too high frequency for our tessellation? Maybe a little bit. Is it too high amplitude? Maybe slightly. Let's try doing... let's try doing 10 instead of 16 here. And let's try turning down the amplitude to that. And that might make it very subtle, but maybe subtle is good, especially if we're going to make it go faster when she moves. Okay, that already looks substantially better to me. Let's try taking out the phase. Maybe the phase is making it look fucked up. Let's just try straight up the two things. Does the wave need to be taller? What I'm going to do is, when there's an object that's above or below, oh, we're not... Okay, we need to bring the time in, so I just factored out all the time. I mean, that actually looks better in some ways, though. Like, basically, when there's something above or below, you will fade in an upper or lower staff. Because, you know, in music, when the notes go out of range, you could have another staff up there. Or if there's another instrument, you have another staff up there. So, we'll do that. But only when something gets in range. And in fact, there could be two more, right? There could be two higher or two lower, so... yeah. But today, we're just worried about things in our plane, because we're keeping the problem simple. I mean, the way to do this without the wave moving is to multiply the amplitude, right? So we could say, let's just do it for this one. A times equals cosine, right? So we're going to, oh, A0. We're going to make the amplitude, what? God, why is it so bad? We're going to make the amplitude itself like phasing. Dude. Please. No! Why is it so bad? All right, so this one's very subtle. But you see, it is working. Right? Okay. So we're going to do that. Maybe this will just look better. Maybe part of what was wrong, I don't know. That looks about the same as before. The rate, okay. So I think the amplitude could go up but the rate should go down. I mean, maybe that's enough for now. It's just kind of a jolly... It's a jolly old thing. We're going to do a lot to make the actual staff and notes look better. It's going to be sort of our weekend project this weekend. I don't know how much of it we're going to stream. But we're going to make the staff and notes look better. And then maybe we'll revisit this. Do I plan on having it spin? Yeah, having it spin is actually pretty easy. The thing about that is, I kind of don't love asymmetric spinning, right? But we can just add that right now. So it's actually kind of trivial. I'm not going to try to match it to any of these speeds right now, but, you know, so here where we do the U0, we're going to say U offset, U time offset. And we're going to say U time offset is F mod cycling now times 0.25, right? That's probably, it might be too fast. I mean, it's livelier all of a sudden, right? You like it better already? Yeah. I mean, I think also when we do some of the other stuff, so instead of having specific notes on there, although we could have it be a specific musical score. But I was thinking that there would be notes appearing and disappearing more like particles in various places, and they would be, you know, a slightly different color than the base of the lines. And then even the lines, like, I think I would like to draw 4 separate lines. Wait, it's a 5-line staff, right? I can't, now that it's moving, yeah. I want to do a 4-line medieval staff and medieval looking notes. These are mildly medieval looking notes, but they could be a lot more medieval. And then just have them sort of fade in and out at certain positions on the thing, right? That might actually be kind of hard, given that it's a weird shape and all this, but we'll see. You recommended a Bach 2-part invention earlier. Well, we don't just want to copy exactly something real, I don't think. These people do not come from the world where Bach came from, so I don't know. But yeah, this is better. This is way better than the dumb particles that were in the game for years. So we could add a little bit more, right? So one thing that would be pretty easy to add would be just like an emanation of energy, like from the bard out. Like you could imagine that there's sort of this energy filling the square, right? But hardly anyone would know. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, I want to, before we get specific about what the thing is, I just want to do some stuff. All right. So we're starting to get late at night, but I feel like we could add one more additional element, right? And that would be good. And then tomorrow I could work on at least breaking the staff and the notes apart. But also giving a little bit of, like, if the 4 lines in the staff each had kind of mildly different colors that cycled over time, you know? Do you plan on having a clef? Well, we need to decide in the fiction of this universe what makes sense for that. Are the staff notes rendered via SDF? No, it's a texture right now. We could do it like if we just write a little shader for this, we could generate the lines. So this is a thing, right? Like if I want to draw the lines in different colors, then maybe it's better to just have a shader that adds in the lines anyway, right? Because then you can just put the color in the shader as opposed to like drawing extra triangles for that, which is kind of ass, right? So maybe we will do the lines in a shader and then the notes sort of on top, maybe? Okay. Let's try adding this. So I can obviously make a little texture that also spins at the same rate on the inside. The problem is sort of clipping it to this shape. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe it just doesn't reach out to the edges. I don't know. Let's one shot a thing. Hey, please generate a texture map for a game that is square and it's an alpha map of some energy that radiates out from the center and reaches a magnitude of 0 at the edges. It should... How do you describe... it should... have radial variation in how much energy there is. I don't know. Let's just see what it does with that. Will the staff rotate the opposite way after being mirrored? Yeah, that was what I was going to do if we keep that, you know. Wait, what? Since when? Since when do you download the image instead of it being inline? Are they trying to save bandwidth now? Okay. This is a good start, but we would like the image to, I don't want to say more like a star or something, right? But because I don't want it to give me just a fucking star shape. We would like the image to um, be less circularly symmetric. We want very strong prongs of energy reaching out sometimes, not so strong other times. Yeah, I'm not sure what the audio guys want to do with regard to what song does the bard play. What is this download? Why did they do this? Sam. Okay, this is ass. Like, why am I doing this? This is a waste of time. All right. Well, okay. Uh why is Google Images only giving me 25 images? Why can't I search? I used to be able to search for texture maps for games, and you would see a bunch of relevant images. Like, these are the worst Google image results I have ever seen. Project Spark, Halo Combat Evolved. Yeah, thank you. Open game art, fire and lava. Okay, that's not FX. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Look how much faster that was than arguing with Chat Boogaloo for an hour. Um, Something like this one. Let's steal that. Is there a license? It says free game textures. I don't know. All right. We're just going to call that Bard Aura in honor of the aura. It's not a very good looking texture, and we'll want to replace it with something from the actual art team later, right? But we just want to see if this general effect is going to be something that we want. Okay. I'm getting hungry. Okay. So now maybe this is an additive texture and stuff. We have a function here. Okay. I have no idea what this rate is. Nor this fucking parameter. Aurea. Isn't Aurea like a game name? Okay. That's cool. We didn't set the texture. So we're going to do this. Okay. Well, why did that not load? Oh, so this probably doesn't have a transparent background, does it? Because it's a free game texture. I bet I could just do something in Photoshop that would just generate this, right? There's like some default filter. Here, okay, I can never figure out how the hell in Photoshop do you just convert color to transparency and save that out. There used to be a really painful way to do this a long time ago. It sucked. I don't remember how to do it at all. How do I do it? You ask AI, we literally just tried that. This is what happened when we gave up from asking AI. Color selection. How does that work? Select color range. Select and mask. There's something about you can load the... How does this work? What? What? I don't even know what this is doing. And this sucks, though. Like, I literally just want the alpha mask that is this. Is this doing that? No, as far as I can tell, right? Why are you popping this shit up? I don't want that. Get it out. How do I ran the wrong Photoshop. I usually run last year's. So now I'm trying to delete the background and nothing is happening. So the background is, I guess, partially selected. All right, let's try. There's a way to make a transparency layer, right? So we can go plus. I don't know, dude. This has been a fundamental operation that I've wanted to do in Photoshop every year for 30 years, and it's always complete shit to do it. There is a way to do it. There's actually multiple ways to do it. There's a way where you like paste this mask into the selection and then delete. There's a way to do it with layer blending. Okay, that's true. Okay, here's what we could do. We could make this a multiply layer. And we could have the layer under it. No. How do we do it? Because multiply will leave... I don't know, dude. You know what? I hate this. I'm ready to give up. This is not worth my time. I hate everything about this. Like... I've wanted to do this for 30 years. I don't want layer 0 transparency. I want layer 0 color. Like, why are you such a fucking dick? Like... Okay, we could use adjustment layer somehow. Layer mask. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. Adobe is so bad at software development. It's incredible. It's just incredible. Photoshop. How to convert a color layer, a grayscale channel to transparency. I get to watch a 12-minute YouTube video. Let's try the 5-minute.
Yeah.
What? It's a YouTube video
This will
of
be the
text.
alpha channel. When you watch channels by channels.
It's AI slop. They literally made a YouTube video of web search results or GPT output. Control click on the thumbnail image. Okay. Go back to the layers tab. Oh, wait, channels tab. Control click. Layers tab. And select a layer with your image on it. Okay, that is, I thought that had to be selected. Layer, layer mask, hide selection. Okay. That's the opposite of what I want. Okay, well, so clearly we can negate the image, right? Go here, control click, here, layer, layer mask, hide selection. That doesn't seem right, but let's see. Okay, that was complete trash. It's got a mask though, so like if I paint white into the colored channel, then will that do it? Oh, it's multiply from before. Ah ha ha. Okay. Okay. Plausible. Plausible. File. Export. Quick export as Penag. Save. Yes. All right. What a great YouTube video that was. Like, why is the game art texture not a transparent PNG? You may use it for particles, not with a solid black background. Like, do you guys know anything about video games? Reinvert, that's true. I would have reinverted. Okay. It is dark. Who is Dark Man? You know what movie I forgot about until I saw a YouTube clip? Undercover Brother. Do you guys remember Undercover Brother? Okay. That was definitely a movie. Okay. Well, guys, it's not going to zero. This is so annoying. Like, I just want a frickin' texture. All right, well, that's what you get for free video game textures, right? I mean, I could just like magic wand with a tolerance 1. It's not even... Oh, it's just selecting all the... Dude, I hate everything about this. This is so stupid. Like, it's so trivial just to give me normal color layers and let me edit them as color layers and let me do this operation. And Photoshop has like never worked that way, and they refuse to work that way. It's so stupid. I don't even know how I would fix this, except checking to make sure the eraser was really working. I suppose here's actually what I could do. Let's make a group. We'll put these in there. We'll copy the group. We'll collapse the copy. We'll magic wand the collapsed copy. We'll select this. We'll delete that. And then we'll delete the copy. Right? Is that expert Photoshop skills or what? Okay, file. Export. Why can I not export? Because I'm on group. File. Export. Why am I recompiling? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, that still looks like complete ass. Maybe we're just a little too bright. I feel like that's going to be too dim. Okay, you know what? We're just going to have to settle for this for now. It does look better, right? Kinda. Not really. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of something filling the space. It just shouldn't be that opaque. And part of what's going on right now is that I don't really know what the shader is doing with these colors that we are giving it. So we could obviously do something better. Like that's fainter, right? And then we could make the radius bigger. We could make it brighter, or like more like whitish instead of like a dark purple. And then the radius or a side. What is this 0.26? That's the z coordinate. Wait, we don't. We want it to be based on the position. That's a weird argument. Okay, so it's also too high. So we have fixed that. Aura size is going to be 4.5, I guess. I mean, it's a little better. It's not great. It's a little better, though. I don't know. It's giving us something to do in the middle of the square. Doesn't she look like she has charisma now? Right? We actually do want that to be a little higher up. I think it was too high before, but now it's a little too low. I don't know, maybe I think I'm literally putting it back where it was. It just looks weird. I think the hole in the middle is too big. Right? But I'm powerless to edit the hole in the middle. Right now. The only technology that I know of that might help without regenerating this whole thing, and it's going to be ugly. I could use blur tool, or no, smudge tool. This is going to be fucking ugly. Well, except none of this is working because it's Photoshop, right? So nothing works because we're using features and they don't work. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're getting there. I think this is enough for tonight. It's been a good 2.5 hours. We did some things. And then tomorrow, I want to start doing some color variants in the things. Yeah, maybe we'll try to erase the lines from the note texture as the next step, and then try to do the lines in the shader. I mean, that's a little annoying because they gotta land like right on the lines. Maybe I'll substitute in a different image. Maybe we want, so on the lines, we would definitely want some noise. Like that's one thing that's kind of like they would feel a little more like energy if you had some noise in them, and maybe also some noise, so we can like cycle the color of the lines or of each line individually. We could have a noise function that like makes them like lerps them toward white a little bit to make portions feel brighter, and then we can have a noise function that lerps them toward transparent, and those can both be going at the same time, and that might be good enough for the lines to make them feel magical and indigo. I don't know. Anyway, thanks everybody. Yeah, I also think so. In addition to all the things I said, it's also just too opaque. Let's actually try, before we go, let's try dialing down the opacity slightly, right? Let's just see how that feels. Does that work? Again, I don't know what the shader's doing exactly, right? But let's see. You can't really tell the difference. let's try turning it way down. Because you need, out of this effect, you need to be able to clearly see where the thing is, but it doesn't need to be like super in your face. Okay, that is helping, but it's just a counter factor against the brightness factor that's being passed in, right? And then it's also affecting the aura, which we don't want, right? So it's kind of, we're kind of fighting. Color this time. This time, it's not even this frame. It's a per segment value. Thanks for the new compiler beta. Yeah, it was time to get one out. We've got some good changes planned for the compiler coming up as well. It's time to do some somewhat major things. And so I kind of wanted to clear the deck for those. Okay. Well, yeah, I think tomorrow we make a shader for the staff and try to do stuff for it. All right. Thanks, everybody. We might stream much of this. I don't know. I kind of am not in the mood to sit around at home all day on the weekend, but maybe I will. Who's to say? Fort Apocalypse when? That's a good question. I'm kind of scared of trying to play it. I mean, didn't we tried for a second and like the keyboard controls were not playable, right? Is that what happened? So maybe I need to buy a serial port joystick. Or there's got to be some config that people have to make a gamepad work well with that. Anywho. All right, thanks everyone. See you later.